The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style. From the highs to the lows, every story just explodes. Mike's got questions on the go, diving deep from head to toe. Every week the guests align, sharing moments so divine. Stay with us, the pace is fine. Every episode you'll find. The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style.
Hello and welcome to the Big H Podcast. I'll be your host, Mike Hayes, and with me today for his second appearance is Ken Freeman, curator of the Parma Museum. Ken, it's great to have you with us.
Well, thanks for having me back, Dave.
I'm Mike.
You did.
I do have a brother, Dave, though. I've
been inundated by Daves today. So.
Dave Crum.
Dave Crum, Dave Almeter.
All good Daves.
Yeah, all good Daves. Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to watch a previous episode, he was on podcast number 24, and I'll put a link of that in our comment box down below. So if you want to catch Ken's first one, you could catch this one. And this one, we're going to focus in on maybe a little bit of recap from our last one, and then focus in on America 250 and what's going on at the Parma Museum and what Ken's been involved with there. Ken, explain to the audience a little bit about what a curator's responsibilities are.
Well, basically is to take care of the collection that the Historical Society has had donated to them. Make sure the items are in good condition, and if they're not, to try to restore them. If they're too badly deteriorated, then you deassess them and get rid of them. And it's also, taking care of the day-to-day things like, fixing the network and the that's a disaster that is ongoing. And building new displays like we did last winter. We did the James Hard Civil War and Grand Army of the Republic display from the Exton family. And I also did an improvement in the agriculture room with an apple history section. So, it's redecorating, rethinking things, moving furniture around.
What's the most recent artifact you've refurbished or gotten into the museum?
The most recent, oh boy. The one I'm working on now is a paper roll holder for a general store. It's like, for your grocery paper. And it's just a nice metal frame, and you put the paper in there on a roll, and then you tear it off and wrap up the meats or whatever. I got it off of eBay, and it needed some love, and it's just a fun little project.
Were you always a handyman growing up, like you like to tinker?
Well, I like to tinker, but it's something that's come along later in life than when I was younger. I've always liked to build models, so that's probably where it came out from: model cars and model planes and model trains.
Oh, cool. What's one thing that you're excited about today, especially in the context of our 250th anniversary?
What am I most excited about?
Yeah.
The time capsule day that's coming up, I guess, would be the big thing. I know you had the interview with Jerry Pickett, and he's making the time capsule for us to use for 2076, and just coming up with how to do the whole thing as a community-wide event. It should be fun.
If you could put any of your items, what would you put in there? What would Ken Freeman put in the time capsule?
Oh boy.
So 50 years from now, they'd uncover it and
Um,
know about you?
a copy of my family genealogy. You know, because at least for the Odell side of the family that follows my great grandparents and all that back, that would be kind of cool. Maybe somebody then would care to look and see anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
The Odell family in the United States is very extensive. That tracks back to England, like the 1400s or something like that. We even owned a castle.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's a castle in Bedfordshire, England. It's the Odell Castle.
Have you always been interested in history and genealogy of your family?
No, not until the last 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of when I started hanging around with Dave Crum and the Historical Society and all that, then I started getting a little more interested in the family history and in the town history too. When I was young, I didn't care much about the
Mm-hmm.
town history at that time. Of course, when you're 18, you don't really think about it much.
Do you think it comes with age then? I mean,
Yeah, I kind of think so. I've talked to a lot of friends of mine that, is like later in life, they start looking at where their family tree was and, where their roots were, So I would say, yeah, it's more, you start looking at your history and where things might go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Leave them behind. If you could instantly master any skill to help celebrate America's history, what would it be?
Any skill.
I didn't promise easy questions.
Ooh, that is a thought-provoking one. I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine. It's a truthful answer.
Yeah.
What's a fun fact about you that most people wouldn't know?
Fun fact that I'm a lousy golfer.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah. Oh, ask my friends from when I played golf with them. Golf for me is like landscaping with the wrong tools. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Um,
I stole that from somebody. I don't.
oh, you
remember
did? Well, it's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Whereabouts do you play? Do you play?
I used to
Putt-putt?
play at. Yeah, putt-putt was always a good place. There used to be a miniature golf course up where Sullivan's was on the ridge there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a miniature golf course in there a long, long time ago. And that was a fun place to go. When I was playing, I used to play at Pinewood, Arrowhead, uh, what's now Cardinal Creek.
Oh yeah, I know all those
Yeah,
places.
yeah, right around here. And then I had a couple of friends I played with. We go to like Genesee Valley or Chilai, uh, Churchville Park.
Mm-hmm. When's the last time you played?
2010.
2010?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
been a while.
Can you pick a club back up and just like riding a bike?
No. I picked him up the other day and moved him around a little bit. And I was talking to a friend of mine that I used to play with yesterday, and I said I've had a all new grips to put on a set of clubs sitting down in my workshop for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Well, I figured out the secret to re-gripping clubs. You go buy new ones."
Are there any golf clubs or any sports memorabilia in the Parma Museum?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
no. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Listeners, if you got anything, he's our guy to talk to. If you could visit any place in the United States right now, what would it be and why?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone. We went there when I was probably 12-ish. We had our tow behind camper. We took I think it was 3 weeks and traveled out there, visited a couple of relatives on the way, and stopped at the usual places. It'd be fun to go back and see it all and see if it's changed any in 60 years.
6 years? Probably a little.
Yeah, I don't think Yogi Bear's there anymore.
Hey, boo boo. How has America's history shaped your perspective on the country today?
Ooh. Well, the Civil War had a lot to do with it. I'm a Civil War buff.
Well, tell me a little bit about it.
I've got an extensive collection on the battles of the Civil War. I found just the battles themselves were quite interesting. You know how the troops maneuvered, and it kind of the writers seemed to get into the insights of who the commanders were and whether they were good or not. You know,
Hmm.
and but it's kind of interesting. Just and the connection is you go to like if you drive down into Pennsylvania, you've got Antietam and you've got Gettysburg and uh, a couple other obscure ones out there, and you drive along, and if you've read the books, and then all of a sudden you realize that I'm driving on the same roads that these guys, 100 and what 75 years
Hmm.
ago now, or something like that. They marched on these same roads. Well, of course, they weren't. They were probably actually better then than they are now. Potholes, but in different ways.
Right, right. Um, Tell me about James Hard and his our local connection to the Civil War.
James Hard was the oldest surviving Union combat soldier. There was one other gentleman who lived longer than Mr. Hard, but he was a drummer in a heavy artillery unit from Wisconsin. They've got an extensive. They've got a statue out there. I forget where it is. It's like Oshkosh or somewhere there,
Hmm.
honoring this kid. And Mr. Hart has nothing, other than his headstone in Mount Hope. There's nothing for him, and he looked to be, depending on which birth certificate you look at, he was either 108 or 111.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he lied about his age to get in. So
Okay.
he was like 15 or 16, and he told him he was older than that. So but he led a long, long life, and it was quite interesting. He had a lot of other jobs after the Civil War. He was a patent attorney. He was a pension attorney for Union soldiers. Forget all the other jobs he had, but he worked until he was like 80 something, and
Wow. What's a historical event or figure that still resonates with you today?
Kennedy's death.
Yeah.
That one. I remember that one. I was
How old were you then?
um
Now this is JFK, not Bobby Kennedy, right?
right, yeah,
Okay.
JFK. Um, 14, I think, something like that.
Um,
My math is terrible.
Tell me about like where were you and how do you find out and stuff like that.
I was actually homesick,
Hmm.
and one of the it was so it was junior high because I had perfect attendance in high school for some stupid reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I was homesick, and I had the TV on, and all of a sudden Walter Cronkite came on, and that Walter Cronkite voice, and the president has been shot. It's like what? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I would say that or the moon landing.
Hmm.
Of course, there's now people that say that was all faked.
Right. And
Okay,
that was in '69, right?
that was 69.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was working at that time. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What was I doing? Oh, I was working with my dad. You know, grading lawns and baling hay and whatever else. So I was working for him most of the summer.
Okay.
Then went to college.
Remind me again where you went to school.
Canton Agricultural and Technical College.
Okay.
Now SUNY Canton.
Okay.
Canton.
In what field did you study, and what did they teach you to do?
Business administration.
Okay.
They didn't really teach me much. Well, it was one of those things that I wanted to get into a nice office job, and thinking back on it, accounting would have probably been where I would have gone with it, but I just never let it fly after that. Could never afford to go beyond the 2 years of college.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't have the money for it, and the GI Bill didn't fit. So
That's right. You served, right?
I served
Okay.
2 years.
If you could, this might be tough. If you could tell America's story in one sentence, what would it be?
that we're smarter than what we act sometimes.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's times you listen to what people are saying, like the people are saying that the moon landings didn't happen. Well, come on,
Right.
MythBusters already proved that was wrong.
Great show, by the way.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that show.
Yeah. I think I used to have it on VHS tapes.
Huh. Yeah. I had a DVD of one season of it at one time. I think I still got it. Of course, I don't even think of the DVD player works now.
What's a lesser known fact about U.S. history that you wish more people knew?
I don't know. That's a thought-provoking one too.
You might have to.
That's why you asked it.
Yeah.
Uh,
a lesser known fact about U.S. history could be a fact about Hilton. It could be a fact that you've run across in your role as curator.
Locally?
Sure, I don't care.
That would be that, the settlers have been here since like the late 1790s, when Basilio Atchison came and settled over Hill Road. A lot of people probably know that already, but that's a cool fact.
Sure.
And 259 then was a little Indian trail, probably wide enough to get a wagon down through, but that's about all. And
I think that's an interesting fact that our little ones need to know that.
Yeah, and it's good that we have people at at the museum on Sundays that will sit there and tell people about that if they ask. It's always a great thing to know.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about when's the museum open? When's Dave Crum's office hours?
Museum is open on Sundays from 2 until 4 p.m. except for holidays. So when Father's Day comes around, we won't be open then. We won't be open 4th of July weekend. I goofed up on the dates for Memorial Day and had myself and one other on for the Memorial Day Sunday. We actually had 4 visitors in.
Good.
One of them was a guy who lives in the house right directly behind the museum. He was researching the whole Welch farm that was back in there. So that was kind of cool. Telling me found any really neat artifacts to bring around to show and tell.
Yeah. Now you grew up in Hilton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that your roots in Hilton influence your view of America at large? I mean, it goes as the Big Apple with a small. Well, how does it go? Something with a apple
little,
with a big
little town with the big heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. Now I'm a lot more tolerant of people's failings than I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Ask anybody who knew me 20 years ago, I didn't have a lot of patience for people.
Yeah.
But that's it. I think that just comes with age, though. But from growing up, that farms matter. Because when I grew up, it was all down my road was all apple orchards. West Avenue was all apple orchards and farmland like that. And now I look and, the corner of Collimer Road and West Avenue, there's houses that have sprouted up there in the last year. And you look at them and it's like, wow, that's where I used to go and hunt pheasants and things like that, not anymore.
What you said, farms matter. How has America changed in its approach to farming?
Farms generally have gotten a lot bigger. I watch a YouTuber called Millennial Farmer. He's from Minnesota. He's in his 30s. He's a millennial. He and his dad farm just over 1,000 acres. And that's a big farm. Actually, that's actually a small farm compared to other ones around. But compared to what we have around here, that's a big farm. My uncle farmed like 50 acres over on Burritt Road. Oh, shut up. Sorry about that.
It's okay. You're a popular guy.
Yeah. All right, where are you? There. Shut up. Go to sleep. That was mostly apple orchards. My grandparents farmed 180 acres right here at the corner. And that, I guess, would have been considered a big farm at the time. My mom says they grew rocks. If you would probably know that too.
Right.
I asked her that one time. I said, Mom, what did Grandpa grow out here? She says, mostly rocks. And that's what she remembered of as a girl growing up here, was just that you go out and pick rocks all the time. Yeah. But yeah, farms have gotten in some areas really huge, but you still have the small ones too. You have the boutique kind of stuff. Like one of my neighbors raises what do they call them? Scottish Highland cows, the ones with the real long bangs and the long horns and everything. They're cool. I like listening to them. They'll stand out back there going, and they're fun.
What's a tradition or holiday that's meaningful to you, and why?
Christmas.
Why is that?
Just get family together.
Yeah.
Haven't done it lately. Last couple of years. We're all getting older and we don't like to travel much anymore. Well, my younger sister and her husband, they travel a lot. They actually went to Antarctica a couple of years ago at Christmas. Yeah, that had to be a cool trip. They sent back. Well, he posted on Facebook like every day, like 70 pictures a day.
Jeez.
And it's like, this is awesome. But yeah.
Who or what has been your biggest source of support in your journey as a history buff?
Dave Crump.
I was going to think that. Yeah.
Dave and Tom Berger. Well, actually, the whole gang that's there, they all have their little niche that they grew up in, like Nancy Laporte. She's like my age, or just, well, she's younger than I am. We'll put it that way.
Good catch.
But her insight into the way that things were in the village, is totally different than mine, because I was a townie. West Avenue, just past Quest School, was actually different than what was in the village.
Yeah.
It's like different little groups of kids and all that. It was quite fascinating.
Cool. What's a piece of advice that you received early on that still guides you? Mom, dad advice, anything?
I can't say that one. I don't think my folks ever gave me any advice like that. They just kind of like, okay, you're on your own.
They model it for you or anything like that?
Oh, they were very they were they were very straight laced.
Mhm.
You know, they were from the they were both farming kids from the Depression era, and
Mhm.
the way that they were brought up, they were very humble.
Mhm.
I guess that would be the big thing is
That's
you know,
important.
stay humble.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does success mean to you, especially in the context of contributing to America's story?
Well, I guess my success would be the museum over
Mhm.
here. You know, I love when somebody comes through and I'm there, or I read the guest register afterwards and they say it's a fantastic place.
Mhm.
You know, that makes me feel good. You
Mhm.
know, that I've actually done something right. You know, you know, they people enjoy looking at what we've got, and then I have to figure out how to do it better.
Right.
Uh,
How many years have you been the curator?
started in 2017, so
Okay.
that's
I'm doing my math, I think
yeah,
about 9 years.
9 years. Yeah.
Do you have a protege or anybody else that you can hand it off to whenever you say this is a little too much for me?
No, no, a couple of one comes to mind, but I don't know whether they would be interested in it at the time. But yeah,
How do you define happiness in your life? Hanging out at the museum?
yeah, that and yeah, just you know, hanging out at home and just chilling out. You
Yeah.
know, it was,
You mentioned that you watch YouTube, a YouTuber that's a big farmer.
right.
What else do you get into? Any books or any other programming or anything like that?
Uh, not so much the books anymore. I like I said, I read a lot of the Civil War battle books.
Hmm.
And I've kind of gotten worn out from that. You know, it's not as easy reading things anymore. It's easier to pull up YouTube and watch it on there. You know,
Hmm.
but I've got a stack of books probably as high as this table
Yeah.
that I still need to read. You know, and I always say that I'm not going to finish reading. When I finish reading them, they can put me in the box and throw me in the pizza oven.
Tell me a little bit about this shirt. What?
It's an America 250 anniversary shirt.
Mhm.
It's probably the most tasteful one that I saw. I was joking with Nancy earlier today that if we wanted to have an America 250 contest, it would be to find the ugliest America 250 shirt.
You really like it. You got
Yeah,
the
this
American
one isn't
Eagle.
bad. I actually found this one on Amazon.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's like $16 or
16
something like that.
bucks.
Yeah,
The American flag on
yeah, it's got the
the
American
shoulder.
flag and all that. Some of these other ones, it's like, oh my god, they went way over the top with them. It's like, come on, maybe some people must like them because they're offering them, but
Sure. Well, it only happens once in a lifetime.
yeah, exactly.
Got a couple more questions and then I'll let you go. What's one thing you'd like America to be known for in 250 years from now? Is it going to be that sometimes we're not as smart? We don't sound as smart.
Good pizza. Be known for I don't know. Um,
When I did Jerry Pickett, I just give you some time to think. He said age, and it was um, something gratitude and endurance.
yeah, yeah,
And appreciation, gratitude, and endurance. Like
uh-huh.
that's how he kind of saw America.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
You don't have
that's
to have an acronym, but
be known for. Hopefully, still wide open spaces.
Mhm.
You know that that somebody in another 50 years can still jump in a car and go to Yellowstone or Yosemite or places like that and just enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
there's a lot to see.
right.
You know, I haven't seen it all. It's like I said, love to go back to Yellowstone again, and I've never seen the Crazy Horse Monument. They've got a nice bus tour if I want to sit on a bus and ride along with a bunch of other old farts. Yeah,
Well, I do hope you make it to Yellowstone. I
yeah,
you know, I hope it's probably on your bucket list again. And
yeah.
you know, anything else about America 250 Parma style?
I hope it's a good celebration.
Yeah,
I really do. We got a lot planned. I know that.
yeah.
Between, like I say, between the time capsule thing, Amanda's got stuff planned all through the year. We're doing Summer Smash, and Summer Smash this year's got more of an America 250 theme.
Mm-hmm.
The Sons of the American Revolution are supposed to come out and do a little commemoration thing at the museum
Mm-hmm.
before the whole thing kicks off. Love to find some other demonstrators like a blacksmith, or things like that to go along with that, because they're blacksmithing is an art that's going away. Kind of fascinating. It's one of those things that I wouldn't have the time or patience to do, to shape metal like that, but it's cool watching somebody who does it and knows how to make it work.
Right.
How about you?
Same question. Gee, you're putting it right back on me. What do we want to be known for in 250 years? Or, I guess that deep down, we're still a traditional founding from what we came from, and the freedom that we enjoy.
Yeah. Remember our roots.
Remember our roots, and we appreciate what we have and what we were given. And even though we have differences and stuff like that, we're pretty darn lucky here.
Yeah. Tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be a lot more tolerant of everybody instead of this. It seems like the last, I think it goes back to around the Clinton administration. The lack of tolerance for somebody else's point of view, just has gotten. I don't know. It actually, even before that, but really, we need to be more tolerant of everybody else's viewpoint to something, instead of just you're wrong, and I'm gonna throw you under the bus for it and call you bad. And,
Yeah, I know. I agree, and I'm speaking to myself included, being more open-minded, and we live in a great place, because there's a lot of places you wouldn't be able to.
Oh yeah. The things that we're allowed to say, and I would say that more of a global viewpoint. Other places around the world need to understand that we're not like them, and that's a good thing,
right?
I've seen Europeans who just they look down their nose at us as that we're just like we're total idiots or country bumpkins, or it's like, no, that's who we are,
right?
And I turn around and refer to them as snobs, so I have to be a little more tolerant that direction too.
Right.
But come on, if everybody were all exactly the same, then welcome to robotics.
Right. Well, Ken, I really appreciate you joining me, and good luck with the museum and America 250. If you like what you've seen today, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. You can follow me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and find me on Facebook. Ken Freeman, it's been a pleasure.
Right.
Stop by anytime.
Yeah. And don't forget the Time Capsule Day. It's August 8th.
August 8th. You heard it here. Maybe the Big H Podcast will make an appearance.
That would be a great idea. Maybe we can actually get Wi-Fi to work for you over there.
Okay. That's an inside joke, but a good one. Take care.
The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style. From the highs to the lows, every story just explodes. Mike's got questions on the go, diving deep from head to toe. Every week the guests align, sharing moments so divine. Stay with us, the pace is fine. Every episode you'll find